The car door slammed before the driver could even open it for her. Lena Brooks was already running through the rain, her black coat flaring behind her like a flag of surrender. Cameras flashed at the gate, voices shouting her name. She didn't stop. She couldn't. Her heart was pounding harder than the thunder above Seoul's skyline. Security guards moved aside as she reached the glass doors of the Kong Group Tower. Her soaked hair clung to her cheeks. Her breath came in sharp bursts. She pressed the elevator button with trembling fingers. When the doors closed, silence wrapped around her like a trap. She whispered under her breath, "Just sign it, get the money, and disappear." But her reflection in the mirror-polished elevator wall looked nothing like a woman ready to disappear. She looked terrified. When the elevator opened on the top floor, Seo Min-jun was already waiting. No smile, no greeting, just those piercing eyes and a voice that carried authority even when soft. "You're late." "The rain," she said quickly. He studied her for a moment, then turned. "Follow me." They entered his office. Wide, minimal, the city sprawled beneath the floor-to-ceiling glass. It looked like a throne room, carved from ice. Min-jun motioned to a chair. "Sit." Lena sat, gripping her purse. He opened a file and slid a contract across the table. "You know why you're here." Her throat tightened. "A marriage contract. 1 year." "Correct. You'll attend events, live with me, act the part of a wife. In return, you'll be compensated handsomely." She tried to sound steady. "Why me?" He leaned back. "You're beautiful. You're foreign. You're not connected to anyone here. That makes you useful." The word stung, but she forced a small smile. "And disposable." His lips twitched, almost a smirk. "Smart. That's good." She reached for the pen, but paused. "This isn't illegal, is it?" "It's a contract between 2 consenting adults. And love." "Love," he said flatly, "isn't part of the deal." The sound of the pen scratching paper echoed like thunder. When she signed, she felt something inside her break. "Welcome to your new life, Mrs. Seo," he said quietly. That night, she lay in a mansion that didn't feel real. Too cold, too quiet. Her phone buzzed, a text from her brother back in Lagos. "Did you get the money? Mom's surgery is tomorrow." She typed back quickly, "Yes, it's done. She'll be fine." Then she stared at her wedding ring. Silver, plain, perfect. It felt heavier than gold. The next morning, reporters were waiting outside. Flashbulbs popped. Questions flew. "Is it true you were his model? How did you meet? Is it love or money?" Min-jun slipped his arm around her waist, smiling for the cameras. "Love," he said, simply, his voice calm. Lena smiled too, but her stomach twisted. When the cameras turned away, he dropped his arm. "Next time," he said, "don't flinch." "I didn't." "You did." He walked ahead. She followed, her heels echoing across marble floors. Days blurred into weeks. She learned the rhythm of his world. Breakfast meetings at dawn, silence at dinner, fake smiles at galas. Every movement measured, every emotion hidden. Sometimes she caught him watching her, not like a man watching a woman, but like someone trying to solve a puzzle. One night, as they returned from a charity dinner, she stumbled slightly on the steps. He reached out instinctively, catching her arm. "Careful," he said softly. For the first time, his tone wasn't cold. Their eyes met. Something flickered, confusion, maybe curiosity. She whispered, "You do have a heart in there, don't you?" He released her hand immediately. Don't mistake politeness for emotion. But later that night, she heard music from the piano room. She peeked in, Min-jun playing softly, eyes closed, a melody so sad it broke her. He noticed her in the doorway. "You're awake." "I didn't know you played." "I don't. Not anymore." "Then why tonight?" He looked back at the keys. "Because for the first time in years, I remembered how." From that night, something shifted. He began asking small things. If she'd eaten how her mother was. Tiny cracks in his armor. One morning, his assistant whispered that investors were questioning the marriage. Rumors that it was staged. Lena overheard. Her chest tightened. "You used me to look stable for them, didn't you?" she asked that evening. He didn't deny it. "It's business." "And what am I?" "Business too." "Don't start something you can't finish," he warned quietly. Her voice shook. "I already did, the moment I signed that paper." Silence. Then he said, almost to himself, "You're braver than most people I know." She turned away before he could see her tears. Weeks passed. One night, after an event, a drunk investor made a racist joke in front of her. Min-jun's jaw clenched. He punched the man before anyone could stop him. The crowd gasped. Cameras clicked. Back in the car, his knuckles were bleeding. "Why would you do that?" she asked, voice trembling. He didn't look at her. "Because no one talks to my wife like that." Her heart skipped. "My wife." He caught her staring. "Don't read into it," he muttered. Too late. For the first time, she saw something behind those cold eyes. Pain, anger, and something dangerously close to care. Later that night, as she cleaned his wound, her hands trembled. "You shouldn't have done that," she whispered. He looked at her. "Would you rather I let him insult you?" "I would rather you didn't care." "I can't help it," he said before turning away. Music swelled, soft aching. That was the night Lena realized the line between fake and real was already gone. Days turned into a strange routine. Some mornings he joined her for breakfast, saying nothing, just watching the news while she pretended not to notice his eyes on her. Other days he vanished before dawn and didn't return until midnight. Yet every night she heard that same sad piano tune drifting from the other end of the mansion. One rainy evening, she gathered her courage and knocked on the piano room door. "Come in," his voice said, low and calm. She stepped inside. "You always play when it rains." He didn't look up from the keys. "The rain helps me think." "About what?" "About things I can't fix." She hesitated, then sat beside him. "Maybe some things aren't meant to be fixed." He stopped playing. "You talk like you've given up on everything." "Maybe I have." "Why?" "Because I made a deal with the devil," she said softly, meeting his eyes. "And the devil looks a lot like you." He stared at her for a moment, then smiled, the first real smile she'd ever seen from him. "Careful, Lena. I might take that as a compliment." They both laughed, awkwardly at first, then freely. It was strange hearing laughter in that cold house. But laughter didn't last long in Min-jun's world. The next week, news broke. CEO Min-jun's marriage to foreign model under scrutiny. Contract or convenience? Lena's hands shook as she scrolled through the headlines. Pictures of them together, rumors about her past, cruel comments flooding the internet. She confronted him that night. "You said no one would find out." "I said I'd handle it." "And how are you handling it?" "By ignoring me." He exhaled, rubbing his temples. "I'm fixing it." "You can't fix this with money or lawyers, Min-jun. They're tearing me apart out there." His voice dropped. "Then stay off the internet." "You think that's the point?" He turned sharply. "This isn't just about you. If I lose the board's trust, everything my family built collapses. You think they'll care about your tears?" "So that's it," she whispered. "I'm just a shield for your reputation." His silence was louder than a slap. She walked out before he could say another word. For 3 days, she didn't eat with him, didn't speak to him. When he came home late one night, he found her suitcase half-packed. "Where are you going?" "Somewhere I can breathe." "You can't." "Excuse me." "The contract," he said, voice low. "You can't leave before the year ends." She stared at him. "So I'm your prisoner now?" He didn't answer, just looked at her with a mix of fear and control. That was when she realized for all his power, he was terrified of losing control. The next morning, She left anyway. She didn't get far. 2 black cars followed her. When she turned a corner, one stopped ahead. His driver stepped out. "Madam, please return. Mr. CO insists." She clenched her fists. "Tell your boss I'm not property." "I can't, ma'am. He said you'd say that." She sighed, climbed back into the car, silent all the way home. When she entered the mansion, Min-jun was waiting by the stairs, his expression unreadable. "Happy now?" she asked bitterly. "No." "Then what do you want from me?" He stepped closer, voice almost a whisper. "I want to protect you, but I don't know how without hurting you." She blinked. "Then maybe stop trying to own me." Something in his face cracked. He turned away, fists tight. "You have no idea what I've lost to get here." "Then tell me," she shouted. "Tell me why you built a cage and called it love." He froze. "My mother," he said finally. "She left when I was 12. Said my father's money turned him into a stranger. I swore I'd never need anyone. But when I saw you standing in the rain that night, I knew I was already breaking that promise." Lena's heart twisted. "Then why keep me here like a prisoner?" "Because the moment you leave," he said, voice shaking, "I lose everything. Not just the company, I lose you." Tears burned her eyes. "You never had me." She walked away again, this time straight to the guest room, locking the door. He stood outside for a long time, then said through the door, "I'll cancel the contract. Tomorrow." She didn't answer. The next day, a scandal hit the news. Leaked documents showing proof of the marriage deal. The board demanded his resignation. Cameras crowded the building. Reporters called her a liar, a gold digger, a fraud. When she saw Min-jun's face on TV, calm and cold as ever, she felt something break. She knew what she had to do. She called a press conference on her own. The room was packed. Flashes everywhere. She took a deep breath. Yes, the marriage began as a contract. But somewhere along the line I forgot it was a deal. Because I fell in love with him. The crowd gasped. "Say what you want about me," she continued, her voice steady. "But don't say it wasn't real." Back at the mansion, Min-jun watched the broadcast in silence. His assistant asked, "Sir, what should we do?" He stood up. "Get the car." When he reached the venue, Lena was surrounded by reporters. The moment she saw him, she froze. He took her hand in front of everyone. "It was real," he said firmly. "She's my wife, my heart, my mistake, my everything." The cameras went wild. Flashbulbs painted their faces white. She whispered, "You didn't have to." "Yes, I did," he interrupted. "Because for the first time in my life, I want something I can't buy." Music rose. She stared at him, torn between anger and love. "Then prove it," she whispered. "Prove it's not about power." He nodded once. "I will." They walked out together, the crowd shouting behind them, his hand still clutching hers like a promise. That night, they sat in silence in the car. He finally spoke. "Tomorrow the board will force me out. I'll lose everything." She turned to him. "Then let it go." He looked at her. "Would you still stay if I wasn't rich?" She smiled faintly. "Maybe for the first time, I'd actually start to." The driver slowed as they reached home. Neither moved. The rain began again, gentle this time. "Do you ever get tired of pretending?" she asked quietly. "All the time," he said. "Especially with you." Their eyes met, and this time he didn't look away. The rain stopped sometime after midnight, but neither of them went inside. The air between them was thick. Too many things said, too many still hanging unspoken. Finally, Lena broke the silence. "You don't have to look at me like that." "Like what?" "Like I'm leaving." "Are you?" She didn't answer. Min-jun sighed, leaned back in his seat. "You think I don't know what I've done to you." "I think you only know how to win," she replied softly, "not how to love." He turned to her, eyes tired. "Then teach me." Her breath caught. "You can't learn love like a business deal." He smiled faintly. Then maybe I'll fail for once. The next morning, chaos erupted. Paparazzi waited outside his gate. The internet buzzed with headlines. Billionaire CEO steps down for love. What's next for CEO Group? He ignored every call, every board message. Instead, he brewed coffee himself for the first time. When Lena walked into the kitchen, barefoot, he handed her a cup. I didn't know CEOs made coffee, she teased. I didn't know wives could run away and still come back, he said. She smirked. Temporary wives. He looked straight at her. Does it still have to be temporary? The question hit her harder than she expected. Min-jun. He raised a hand. Don't answer. Not yet. I'll earn it this time. For the first time, he didn't look like a man who controlled everything. He looked human, scared. Over the next few days, they lived quietly. He cooked sometimes badly, and she laughed until her stomach hurt. They went grocery shopping in a small town where no one recognized them. He learned to drive without a driver. She started painting again. One night, as they watched a movie, he said suddenly, I used to hate silence. My father filled every room with noise, meetings, phones, plans. But with you, silence feels like peace. She smiled softly. Maybe that's love. He turned to her. Then don't leave when peace gets boring. She didn't promise, but she didn't look away either. Then came the storm. A week later, a sleek black car appeared at the mansion. His father's lawyer stepped out, holding a folder. Mr. CO, the man said coldly, your father is dying. He wants to see you. Min-jun froze. He hasn't spoken to me in years. He said it's urgent. He also mentioned her. The air shifted. Lena looked up from the balcony. What's going on? He hesitated. My father wants to see us. Us. Yes. You're my wife, remember? The drive to the hospital was silent. When they arrived, reporters already filled the front gate. They pushed through, ignoring the flashes. Inside, the once powerful patriarch of CO Group lay weak, his eyes dim. He turned slowly toward his son. So this is the woman. Lena bowed slightly. Sir. He studied her face for a long time. Pretty. Strong. Not one of us. She's my wife, Min-jun said quietly. For now. His father coughed. You always had your mother's weakness. Heart over power. Lena's chest tightened. She reached for Min-jun's hand under the blanket, squeezing lightly. He didn't pull away. His father continued, voice raspy. You threw everything away for love. Foolish. The world doesn't reward love. Min-jun's jaw tensed. Then maybe I don't need the world anymore. His father smirked faintly. We'll see. He closed his eyes. Machines beeped softly. Lena felt her throat burn. He's dying and you're fighting him. He's been dying all my life, Min-jun whispered. Every time he made me choose power over peace. When they left the room, the lawyer caught them in the hallway. He's leaving you nothing, he said coldly. No shares, no property. Everything goes to charity. Lena blinked. All of it. Yes, he said. If my son wants love, let love feed him. For a moment, Min-jun didn't speak. Then he laughed, a raw, broken laugh that echoed through the sterile hall. Guess he finally gave me freedom. They left the hospital hand in hand, but she could feel his silence hardening with every step. Back at the mansion, he walked straight to his study. She followed. Say something, she pleaded. He didn't turn. What should I say? That I'm relieved? Angry? Lost? Say you're human. He faced her, eyes burning. I am. And that's the problem. The room went still. She stepped closer. You still have me. He whispered, for how long? For as long as it's real. That night, he sat by the window, staring at the skyline that used to belong to him. Lena came up behind him, wrapping her arms around his shoulders. Does it hurt? She asked. Everything does, he said. But you're the only part that feels right. He reached up, touching her hand. When this contract ends, I'll let you go. But if you stay, I'll build something new. Not for power, for us. Her heart pounded. Min-jun. Don't answer now, he said softly. I'll ask again when I deserve you. The next morning, the house was filled with laughter for the first time. The maid smiled. Even the guards relaxed. They were rebuilding something fragile but alive, until the phone rang. Lena answered, cheerful. Hello. Silence. Then a woman's voice. Is this Mrs. Seo? My name is Una. I'm Min-jun's ex-fiancé. The world tilted. Excuse me. I just thought you should know, the woman continued. Your husband's company may be gone, but his past isn't. He still owes me, and my father, more than you could ever repay. Lena's fingers trembled. What are you talking about? You'll see. I'll visit soon. The line went dead. That night she couldn't sleep. She kept glancing at Min-jun across the room, wondering if he knew. When he finally looked up from his laptop, he noticed her stare. What is it? Nothing. He closed the laptop. Don't lie to me. Who is Una? He froze. How do you know that name? Her voice broke. She called. Said you owe her. He stood abruptly. It's not what you think. Then what is it, Min-jun? Another secret? Another deal? She was my fiancée years ago. Our fathers arranged it. I broke it off. She never forgave me. Does she want you back? I don't know, but she can't have me. Lena turned away, heart pounding. You think everything is a transaction, even love. He grabbed her hand. No, not anymore. Then prove it, she whispered again, tears in her eyes. The next morning, Una arrived. She walked in like she owned the place, tall, cold, flawless. Min-jun stepped forward, jaw tight. Lena, stay back, he warned. She refused. I'm staying right here. Una smiled, venom thinly veiled. So this is the famous Mrs. Seo? The one taking what I was promised. I'm not taking anything, Lena said firmly. He's not yours. He's his own man. Min-jun's eyes never left Una. This ends now. Whatever you think you're owed, it's gone. You'll regret this, she hissed. Min-jun took a deep breath. Maybe. But I don't care. I chose her. The words hit Lena like a thunderbolt. For months, she had feared being a pawn, a business arrangement, a contract she couldn't escape. And yet here he was, declaring it in front of the woman who had haunted his past. Una's face faltered for the first time. You can't just erase the past. I can, Min-jun said, because I choose the present, and my present is Lena. He turned to Lena, gently taking her hands. I don't want contracts. I don't want expectations. I want truth, and my truth is you. Tears blurred her vision. You really mean that? Every word, he said, voice low and steady. Una finally walked out, furious, leaving the room vibrating with tension. Lena sank into Min-jun's arms, trembling. I thought you were just like them, she whispered. Like every man who ever used me. He pressed a soft kiss to her temple. I wasn't always, Lena, but I've learned. You're the only one who taught me how. For the first time, the mansion felt warm, real, alive. Weeks passed, and they rebuilt their lives together. Min-jun stepped down from the CEO role entirely, handing over the company to a trusted partner. Lena started her fashion line, Lena Brooks Atelier, blending African and Korean aesthetics. One evening, as they sat on the balcony watching soul glitter beneath the stars, Min-jun took her hand. You know, he said softly, I wanted a wife to save my image, but I found someone who saved me instead. She laughed, brushing a strand of hair from her face. You're dramatic. I'm a billionaire, he said with a sly grin. It comes with the territory. She rested her head on his shoulder. Promise me something. Anything. No contracts. No games. Just us. Only us, he whispered. The months rolled by, their love deepening with each passing day. No contracts, no boards, no paparazzi. Just two people learning to heal, trust, and love fully. Then came the final test, a gala honoring Lena's new fashion brand. Paparazzi swarmed, but this time Minjun stayed calm, protective but unobtrusive. A reporter shouted, "Is this true love or still a business deal?" Lena laughed, turning to Minjun. "See? I told you love doesn't need papers." He kissed her hand, and I never doubted it, not for a second. As they posed for photos, she leaned in close. "Do you ever miss the old life?" "Sometimes," he admitted, "but nothing was ever worth it without you." The camera flashes were relentless, but they didn't care. And in that moment, Lena realized the truth she had feared for so long. Freedom wasn't about running away. Freedom was choosing to stay, with someone who finally understood that love isn't owned, it's shared. Later, in the quiet of their home, Lena whispered, "Thank you for letting me go and letting me stay." He held her close. "You stayed on your own. I just learned to follow." Their laughter filled the mansion, blending the warmth of Lagos with the elegance of Seoul. They had survived contracts, scandals, ex-fiancés, and public scrutiny, but none of that mattered anymore. "Don't forget," Minjun said playfully, "next time you think of leaving. Remember, I still won't let you go." She smiled, a soft, genuine curve that spoke of trust, love, and survival. Good. I wouldn't want it any other way. And as the city lights twinkled beneath them, it was clear no contract, no money, no scandal could ever match the power of a love they had chosen freely. If you enjoyed watching Lena and Minjun's story unfold, don't forget to like this video, comment below what you'd do in Lena's shoes, and subscribe for more captivating Afro-Korean stories. Every week, we bring you drama, romance, and the stories you can't stop thinking about. So hit that bell and join the journey.